Hi everybody, this is Janet Wright, and this is going to be a post-healing Q&A time. So we just did a group energy healing before this for 100 people in 12 countries. So now we'll just do a little Q&A for those of you that have questions. And it could be people that did not receive the healing from me, just anybody who has questions about energy healing or reading or meditation or just how energy impacts your afternoons or evenings, or an energy question you have about a friend of yours, whatever, doesn't matter. So I'm going to put my reading glasses on and check. I'm going to say hello and make sure other people can hear me, because that's pretty important for a Q&A. Let's see. Oh, I'm getting responses. That's important. So. Okay, so somebody says, hi Janet, I was watching and healing myself, and they're referring to the group healing that we just finished. When we were stacking and clearing, which is a way of clearing energy blocks, I felt a lot of stuck energy in my spine. I was giving it extra gold light, but still feel blocked. Thank you for your videos. Yeah, for that particular person, I would say, and we did do this a little bit, we healed the spine as well as the grounding beneath the spine. So the center core part of your grounding. And I would say for that person, part of why their spine isn't, the tension in the spine isn't clearing completely is because the center core part of the grounding has a little too many blocks in it. So if you clear that more, and then that can help. And then also you can look at specific vertebrae that are blocked. So like, for example, you could have a vertebrae right here that's really, really blocked. And so it kind of keeps all these jammed up. And so you just imagine which one it is, and you don't have to know if it's, L4 or L5 or whatever. You don't have to, but if you want to geek out and look at a spinal diagram, you can just Google spine diagram and then, use your intuition and be like, oh yeah, it's that one. And then that it's L7, or something. But it doesn't matter. You can just find it with your imagination and be like, okay, that's the one vertebrae I need to focus on more. And then, it could take like 2 days for you to, clear enough energy around that one vertebrae for the whole thing to loosen up more. So I would say it's two things. It's, a handful of specific vertebrae that you need to work on, and also your grounding directly, in the core part of your grounding, directly underneath your spine and your chakras. It's a little too blocked. So if you work those two together, that would help. So someone else is saying thank you. Someone else is smiley face. So yeah, so any questions you want, you need to text them, and then I would answer them. Otherwise, I probably have some good ones saved up that I could answer too, but it'd probably make more sense if you guys text your questions. So let's see. I'm gonna look for, I got one. Okay. Hi, Janet. Thank you for the healing. It was wonderful. I feel great. However, during the healing, the last 4 toes on my right foot are still cold. This happens a lot in my feet. Any suggestions? Yeah, it looks like a past life thing. Like I said, you can bring past life burdens with you if you don't clear them all. I mean, you do bring past life burdens with you if you don't clear them all. So it looks like actually 2 different past lives. So you could just have fun with that and, journal about it, and, like have a cup of tea and just relax and think about, what happened in that life. Sometimes like for example, I'll just take a personal example so as to not put too much attention on any one viewer, but like say, my shoulder issue. I had a shoulder issue last year, and like a physical issue that happened in this life. But there were past lives where I had shoulder issues. And it's not the fact that you have a shoulder problem that would migrate. It's if you have resentment about it, or you're angry about it, or sad about it, or scared about it, that energy of your spirit, that emotional, resentment or feeling victimized or whatever, that comes with you. So like I've read people, sort of a classic like foot thing is like, say you step in a bear trap, in a past life, and it injures your ankle, and then you're so pissed because the rest of your life is altered. You don't walk right for the rest of your life from that, and maybe you get so angry. So what comes with you in the next life is not the fact that you messed up your ankle bones and ripped some tendons with the bear trap. What comes with you is all that frustration that you sort of maybe accidentally, projected onto that part of your body. So anyway, so that's something that you can just, enjoy, like in a way. I mean, enjoy sounds funny, but you can enjoy clearing it, and just think about, the past life and were you male or female, and, was it a certain injury, and what were your emotions about that injury, that kind of thing. And then, of course, you can clear it with gold light. Thank you very much. Hi, Janet. This is a general question about sleep. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and can't fall back asleep. I clear entities and clear my third chakra, but sometimes I have a lot on my mind. Yeah, so, I mean, there are different reasons people wake up at night. Sometimes you just have to go to the bathroom. So that's easy. But sometimes you just finished an astral class, so a class with the angels, and certain astral classes, you do need to wake up at the end. And so the angels kind of make you wake up at the end, and it's to bring in energy from that class. And it's like learning and, ideas, and so it kind of makes you feel a little more awake because you're bringing in a lot of energy. And so if you don't understand, well, I just finished an astral class, you might think, oh, I'm not going to be able to go back to sleep. Oh, and you just give up and start watching TV or something, but that's not ideal. You try not to give up, just realize like, hey, I'm bringing in new information from a class I just finished, and just, kind of ride it out. It may take, sometimes if you do move your body a little, maybe just to use the restroom and come back, and then just relax, and just let your mind think of things for, 5-10 minutes, and, you can go back to sleep if you don't kind of dramatize that. If you, so in that person's case, I don't think it is a being. I mean, there could be some energy blocks that get your mind going on certain patterns. So if you're looping on something unpleasant, then yeah, just clear that. Just imagine, maybe blanket exercise, and clear, like, for example, if you wake up with nightmares, you clear the energy blocks that created those nightmares. And with gold light, just make a big gold blanket out in front of you, dump onto the blanket whatever's keeping you awake, whatever gave you the nightmare, whatever thoughts you're looping on, and just melt them, and you can do that a few times. Also, make sure your Kundalini is turned off. That is, Kundalini energy is like a kind of a fiery energy that gets generated beneath the first chakra in the Kundalini chakra, and then it goes up the spine. So sometimes, when you wake up and say you're bringing in the new information from that class, your Kundalini, is a body energy. Your body doesn't know, and it just turns on. It's like, oh, something's happening, so then you have this Kundalini running up your spine. So then you just kind of turn it off. Just imagine, okay, I'm going to turn it off so that you don't have Kundalini energy running up your spine anymore. So just kind of turn that back off and just relax and, clear some energy blocks and just chill out. But bringing in that information from the astral class may take like at least 5 minutes, and so you just sort of chill out during that time. Don't like start, looking at stuff on your phone or something, because that's gonna wake up your brain and the bright lights. So just try to ride it out and relax. Okay, so yeah, so third chakra, that's nice to have that more mellow, and then the Kundalini chakra, just turn that off so it's not generating energy that runs up your spine, and then you should be able to just bring in the new energy and go back to sleep. You could also try earth energy soaks. That's kind of nice. Just soak in a lot of earth energy. That video, Tricolor Earth Energy Soak. There is a video for people, I don't think you need it, but there is a video, Deep Thought for Sleep. A video, you could just search Janet Wright, Deep Thought Sleep. And that video will, help you clear stuff in your mind that blocks you from deeper sleep. Okay. Hi, Janet. I feel so much better in my lower back. Probably due to the healing that we just did earlier today. I am at a crossroads. How can I determine if going back to college is the right decision for me? I don't have a clear vision of what to do. So good question. And a question that's very relevant to a lot of people. How do I know if decision XYZ is good for me? Is this the best decision for me? There are a lot of ways to approach that. Like initially, if a decision triggers you, like, oh, I don't know, you could just clear any energy blocks that are triggering you around that decision. So like blanket exercise, that type of thing. Just, make a big blanket out in front of you, clear any baggage, heap onto the blanket any baggage around that decision. Going to school, going back to school, not going back to school, all that. Just put it on the blanket, say, angels, can you check my pile? And then just melt it, and doing that for a few days is really good, because sometimes it's like you can't clear it all and get to clarity in one day. Sometimes in a really big decision, you need to clear and then sleep and wake up again and clear more and sleep and wake up again and, clear more. So for bigger decisions, it's, just to adjust your expectations, it could take maybe up to a week of consistent work to get to a real strong point of clarity on something, if you keep clearing energy about it. So that's probably 80% of it right there. And the other thing is, you can imagine yourself on your spiritual path. That's like the road that's just for you. And, so you imagine your spiritual path. It's like this straight road and you're on it, hopefully. I mean, if you feel like you're really lost, then you're on a side road. You're not even on your path. But let's assume that, you've been getting healings and your energy's okay. So you're probably already on your path, and you're either, if your energy's pretty decent, you're probably moving forward on your path already. So then you just sort of imagine, okay, well, what if I go back to school? What does that do to me on my path? And if it's a good decision for you, it probably accelerates your forward movement on your path. And if it's sort of a distraction for you, or some kind of a not for you kind of a thing, it could make it look like you're going down a side road instead when you make that choice. So like, I'll take a personal example from my, was that like early 30s, late 20s? So there was this guy that I shouldn't have dated. But, back then I didn't really, I mean, I knew to meditate, that I really rocked, but I didn't know how to apply that so much to love life decisions back then. So I dated a lot of people that it was just such a waste of my time and energy, So if I had looked at the time, then I could see, oh, well, I've just been meditating. I feel really good. So here I am moving forward on my path. And then what if I date this guy? I'm totally wasting my time going down this side road. It's not something that would help me move forward on my path, my spiritual path in this lifetime. Which means, if it helps you move forward on your path, then it's good for you. It's good for your health, your wellness, your involvement, your ultimate happiness and joy, So you just kind of see, what does this choice do for me on my path, and that could be applied to, like, should I take this job, that kind of thing. But sometimes you can't see that yet. You just have to do the blanket exercise for a few days first to just clear lots of energy blocks, because a decision could be very triggering for you. And so you want to clear the triggers first, and then it should be easier to watch your little mini you on your spiritual path and see what a decision would do for you on your path. Okay. Someone else says, yes, I've often worried about losing my legs without reason. My legs are good. That makes sense about past lives. Thank you. I'll check it out. Yeah. 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 Hi, Janet. Really felt good with the jawbone and foot cleansing and clearing. Yes. So for you guys watching this Q&A someday, the healing that we just finished is the one of the same date as this Q&A, which is, February 7th, 2020. We did a healing, and it would have, what would it have in the title? Afternoon and evening in the title. Because that's the theme of these 3 healings that we're doing. So it would be done on February 7th, 2020, afternoon and evening is in the title. So you could search Janet Wright afternoon, evening, and then look for the February 7th, 2021. But anyway, she says, felt really good with the jawbone and foot cleansing, clearing. In the past 2 years, I started grinding my teeth during sleep. Is jawbone cleansing with gold enough, or should I do more? I mean, I think it's a good start, but yeah, I think it looks like a whole bunch of like upper body tension. So like even shoulders and rib cage and skull bones. So I would say everything from like rib cage upward, all those bones and joints and muscles, and just try to, through your conscious energy healing, just over time, just heal those more and more. Just get them lighter and more relaxed. Your whole upper body, the rib cage, the shoulders, arms, all the muscles, the neck, the skull, and the jaw. It just looks like there's just all this tension, and your body doesn't know what to do with it when you're sleeping. So it's like all right, cool. Oh, that is a great thing to understand, effects of an astral class. Yes. Yeah, people don't, I guess people get confused. But yeah, astral recall is always interesting anytime you wake up. So like even, when you're up for the day, like you're up and you're not going to go back to sleep, you're up for the day, and when you're still kind of sleepy, you can say, well, what did I do in my sleep with my angels? Did I take classes? Did I work on this project? Is there something that my angels want me to remember for today? Because my angels like to lay out sort of like, okay, these are 3 things that you need to know, So sometimes when, I wake up and it's like the middle of the night and I'm going to go back to sleep, there's still like the angels want me to say, well, these are 3 things that we want to explain to you, and then they'll let me go back to sleep. So sometimes, astral recall, thinking of, okay, well, what did I just learn, or did I just do something that I should be aware of in my sleep? Sometimes that's why you wake up, to bring in that knowledge, which could be conscious or subconscious. So if you just chill out and relax, it'll come in subconsciously. But if you want, for fun, you can think about, did I just take a class on something? Maybe I took a class on, some kind of new career I'm working on, or I took a class on, or maybe I just did something fun with my angels that they want me to know about. Okay. Someone says, do you think it's an option to put gold vacuum boxes and then gold suns in your non-resistance zone to clear stuff out? Yeah, that's fine. Vacuum boxes and gold suns in your non-resistance zone. Yeah. I think if you're having trouble clearing out your non-resistance zone, yeah, the vacuum boxes might be a nice idea. But I think you probably just have like 3 beings that are just, being annoying in your non-resistance zone. So just recycle the 3 that are being annoying. Sometimes you just use your intuition and you're like, yeah, there's like 7 beings, and you just get rid of them. So you don't have to do the vacuum boxes. But yeah, vacuum boxes always are nice anywhere you want. Vacuum boxes, for those of you that do not know, you just make a box with your thought or your intention. You don't have to see it. But it's just a box, and you can make it gold and clear, and just and then it has a remote control. And so when you turn it on, it acts like a vacuum, and sucks up beings that are around in your aura or in your chakras or whatever. So you could put like 7 of them in front of all your chakras and 7 behind all your chakras. You just turn them on, and then they just sort of work to like suck out the beings that are in your chakras, which is nice. And then when they're full, they kind of ring ding, 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 so they're full. And you say, angels, can you please recycle these boxes? And that way your angels get rid of the boxes and the beings in them. And it's nice, it's cleansing. You can do that in your grounding, and around your chakras, in your aura, on your spiritual path out in front of you. You can make vacuum boxes there. You can do it all at once, just make more and more and more and more, and then turn them on all at once. And then just wait so they do their job, and then have your angels clear them all out at once. It's fun. It's fun. Fun with vacuum boxes. Wow, thanks so much, Janet. Hello again. How can I help a future event which involves multiple people, immediate family members, have a positive outcome? I want to help my parents financially in their future living situation. I mean, it's a little vague what you're getting at for me. So I'm not sure what to do with that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if the simplest and best thing you can do to help other people is to encourage them on a spirit level in a non-coercive way that they can work with their angels. And that's like that conflict resolution video that I have, resolve conflict and boundary issues. Is the name of it, resolve conflict and boundary issues. And you make these energy healing flowers for the other person, and you have your angels check them, and then you lay them out at a respectful distance in front of that person. So like if I wanted to help somebody, I just make these flowers that say your angels can help and guide you out of universal healing energy. So it could be rainbow colors, gold light. You don't think about it, your spirit just does it. And your angels can help and guide you. And then you say, angels, can you double check these flowers? And they know they're for the other person, so they'll make them the right energy. And then you just go, here you go, and you just put them maybe 6 feet in front of that person's aura. And these are for you, if you want. And then the person, if they want, they'll take them, and it's inspiring. It's an inspiring message, and it reminds them that they have their angels, and they start working with their angels more. Because then they can work with their angels in their sleep and clear things out ahead of time. So yeah, if you want, just be more specific in the question, and I'll be more specific as well. But that would be the baseline thing to help your loved ones work with their angels. And you can do reminders like that even every day for somebody. It wouldn't be too much, because your angels are double checking the flowers, and you're not like handing the flowers to the person, because that could be kind of coercive. You're imagining the edge of that person's aura, and then like 6 feet in front of that. And then you just lay them down and say, well, these are for you if you want, and then that way, if they receive those flowers, that they kind of remember, oh my gosh, yeah, I have angels. I could just work with them on this. Okay, we'll do thanks. It's hard to have focus in the afternoon and evening, short time and lots to do, and meditation is short because I am tired. Morning through after meditation, I am more mindful about my energy. Yeah, well, you just got to be a realist. I mean, I think if you can study your patterns, that helps. So say, that question is asked by someone who does meditate regularly. They just meditate regularly in the morning and then in the late evening. So there's that whole gray area where they're not meditating in the afternoon and evening. So, but you can watch your own patterns. You can, when you are meditating, once you get your energy all okay, you can say, well, what normally happens to me in the afternoon? Well, what happens to me is my grounding gets a lot more narrow. So I can make that, I can just write wide grounding. And that's something that I can remind myself again and again, tomorrow in the afternoon and evening, and see how much that helps. Even just that little thing of like redoing your grounding and making it wide, or doing like an earth energy soak, like having orange earth energy that you're soaking in all the way from the core of the earth up to the top of your aura, and just having an earth energy soak going the whole afternoon, and then maybe change the color of it to yellow for the evening, for variety, or change it back to red and do a red earth energy soak for the evening. But just to remind you, hey, I got to be earthy. I got to have that flow. Sometimes, people learn about the chakras and the aura layers and this and that, and they're like, oh my gosh, Janet, I don't have time to do that. I'm running after 2 boys. Do you understand? So simplify. Wide grounding. That's a simple concept. That's something that, you often lose in your afternoon and evening. So that's an area of improvement, right? Anything that you can do that, helps you to be incrementally more present is a huge victory. So I would say, wide grounding, and also, maybe blanket exercise for resistance. Because, a lot of parents, they resist their kids. Kids are like little wild cards running around, and not only that, if they're younger, they're linked to your first chakra. So you have these little wild cards running around linked to your first chakra all day, all afternoon and evening, right? So you can start to resist that. like inside, you're like, of course you love your kids a lot, right? But then you're like, oh, why won't they do what I tell them to do? So, you clear the resistance, keep the wide grounding, just do a blanket exercise for resistance, and just melt your resistance. I mean, that would be huge. If you just wide grounding, melt resistance, that could keep you evolving and growing for at least a month, in your afternoons and evenings. Someone says, how often do you use electromagnets to clear punishment devices? Me personally? I mean, I did it like a week ago. I mean, it just depends. How you could do it 4 times a day if you wanted. There's no bad thing. That, for those of you who don't know or don't remember, the electromagnet devices, they're fun. They're like, you make these big, strong gold electromagnets, like say around your aura, and then you just turn them on, and they attract to them the hard pieces of energy, hard pieces of stuck energy in your space that maybe got thrown at you at some point, even a year ago, but it's still lodged in your aura. And so you just turn them on, and then the electromagnets attract those hard pieces of energy without you having to work. You just think about letting go, and the magnets, sometimes you can even hear sound effects like as all this hard stuff gets stuck to the magnets. And then you just say, angels, can you recycle those magnets? And, all that's stuck to them. And that is in the Own Path Clear Punishment video. It's called Own Path Clear Punishment. But yeah, I mean, there's no rule to how often you would do it. Just use your intuition. How often should I do it? It's a personal thing. It's nice though. It's it kind of liberates you. Is it the communal vibration? Oh, that person is asking about their question about why they get shut down. Yeah, we'll get into it more in the Sunday and the Tuesday healing, but yeah, the collective stress from other people is, I would say, probably about half of what you're handling, and then the other half is your own resistance to your own day. Like that you didn't meet your own expectations for what you were going to accomplish, and that you resist your own kids, and the fact that they're not little perfect clones of your wishes and dreams. It's like you just clear your stuff. But yeah, part of it is the collective of people doing really imbalanced things in their afternoons and evenings. But that's fine. You just have flow and kind of, you don't have to match it. The more flow you have in your bones, and the more non-resistance and wide grounding. When I'm helping my mom or a loved one unblock their grounding, I imagine a golf fence Golf, as in the game golf? Maybe gold is what they meant to type. Imagine a gold fence in between me and that person. Is that an appropriate thing to do? Um, that's fine. I think what you're saying is like when you're healing somebody and you want to have boundaries, but you're giving, like, you're helping your mom heal her. Yeah, I mean, I don't do that, but you could. I mean, because you're making a copy out in front of you of their grounding. So for me, that's kind of complicated to imagine the fence in between you and the copy. But if you like that, then that's fine. For me, like, if you just feel your body, like you can have the copy of their grounding out front of them, but just feel your body, because your body, your attachment to your body is going to keep you in, and then you just kind of, send the gold light. But yeah, if you want, you can, a gold fence in between you and the copy that you're working on is not harmful. You can also just say, angels, can you please help me with boundaries as I do this? Hey Janet, I've been getting extra triggered lately, and I've started to clear out the front of the first layer of my aura, and also giving myself courage flowers a few times a day. Good, great. Yeah, I think there are a couple energy blocks that you're missing in the first layer of your aura. Like, sometimes you, when you're working energy, and this is true for everybody, if you have something that's a little stubborn, you can just say, angels, help me to see what I'm not seeing. Help me to expand my vision. Help me to increase my intuition. Help me to see what I need to see. Because I think there are a couple energy blocks that are just triggered every day, and they're still there, and you're not clearing them because you're just like, it's like you have a mental block about it. So you're clearing this one and you're clearing that one, but you're not clearing the big one that's like right there. So, but that's a good question, because I think that's true for everybody. You may have like a chronic shoulder issue and you do work it, but it's still always there. It could be that you're missing, like there's a couple energy blocks you're just not seeing. Sometimes that could be because there's a being that needs to be recycled right there, but I think in your case it's just a mental block that you're not seeing that, and that's very common. You can always get upgrades to your intuition and your clairvoyance, your ability to see energy or intuit energy. Just ask your angels. Angels, please help me to see what I need to see when I'm healing myself right now. Help me to intuit. That's how. I mean, like I said, when I started this stuff, I didn't see my energy at all. I didn't even know that I could see my energy. All I saw was black. You just can ask for upgrades, from the angels. I mean, you got to do the work too, but just let the angels upgrade your vision so that you can see more. Why can't I stay focused on task for very long? Well, I don't know your exact name, so it's maybe not as exact a read, but it looks like you have aura damage very typically in this part of your energy system. So that leaves these upper chakras pretty vulnerable, and so it's harder for you to be present. There's a lot of like energy meridians and stuff in the back of the neck and the back of the head, and plus these chakras are important. And with that kind of aura damage, it's just, yeah, focus is going to be hard. So I would say step one would be aura repair, particularly in the back around the head and neck and shoulders, and just make sure you're real safe there. And also you can even do Wei Qi aura repair in that area, and look up my Wei Qi aura video that's 45 minutes long, and repair your Wei Qi auras that are specifically all around your head, but in the back would be great. And just, over time, it's not like a 5-minute fix, the Wei Qi aura repair stuff, but, over time, if you should be able to see a good deal of improvement, once your aura is whole. And I don't think you have chakra damage there, but you have a lot of aura damage there typically. Anything else I could be doing, or is this enough for the time being? Oh yeah, I already answered that. Hi Janet, I've been struggling with unemployment and money since June, and it feels like my spirit guides are not replying to my request for help. What's going on? Okay, so that's, in this case and in general, I'm confident to say that your spirit guides do reply. The question is it the reply that you're looking for? You know, like angels do help, but you're either blocked to hearing what they're saying, or they, you know, they're trying to get you to go left and you're going right. You know what I mean? Like there's some disconnect internally within you. It's not that your angels would be hearing your requests. They would hear them because that's easy. It's just like they can hear your thoughts super easily. And they would want to help you, right? So something else is going on. It's not that they're not listening. So I would say two things. Unblock your path, your spiritual path. So there's a video, Clear Punishment Own Path, which I mentioned earlier in the live stream too. So Clear Punishment Own Path is the name of the video. So you could search Janet Wright Own Path, because that's a pretty unique title, you know, Own, O-W-N, Path, and for spiritual path. And that video, because your spiritual path is pretty blocked up. And then also, you just don't look safe enough energy wise. When you're kind of in a rut spiritually with something and you need to break a pattern, you being really present helps, and you look kind of mushed and your path looks blocked. And so from what I can see, your angels are trying to get you to, you know, fix all that. You know, they can't just fix your life. I mean, I know you know that, but just, so I don't mean to sound harsh, but the angels won't just like, you know, if you have an energy issue, they need you to fix the energy issue to manifest what you're trying to manifest, versus just like sort of controlling it so that it works out for you no matter what. Generally, the angels, and in this case, it looks like they're trying to get you to unblock your path and get safe and present so that you can, you know, really bring forward what you're trying to do. So so if you maybe don't have motivation to heal yourself, you know, we could work on that. You know, like if doing a video is just never going to happen, then we can find things that are even easier than that you could start with. But it does look like, of course, they're trying to help you, but you're expecting, you know, it's just some job to jump in your lap, and they're like, no. There's like 3 steps you have to do before that you're not hearing, as far as like wellness and unblocking and getting much more present. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Janet. This is awesome. Gold. Haha, sorry. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for clarifying. Yes, this makes total sense about blocks. It's been driving me crazy. Feel pretty good after the healing. However, still feel like sticky blocked energy around my spine near the 3rd chakra level. Is that just resistance energy? No, that's a being. Sticky energy a lot of times is a being. Like energy that feels like it's bubble gum or something, or like, you know, tar, anything that's kind of heavy and sticks like that, it's usually a being. Also relevant in this case and in general, if you have an area where it's like, well, I just cleared the being out of there, Janet, how is there another one? Well, there could be, you know, like maybe 4 of them that are just kind of messing with you, and so you get 1 and then there's 3 more still messing with you. So you just use your intuition. You're like, all right, how many are there? And then you just ask your angels to recycle them all at once. But you could also have a being tunnel, which is I always use my little glove to illustrate, even though my glove, I really love my glove, but you know, it is kind of a cute way to illustrate a being tunnel. So a being tunnel is just a little tunnel that is in your energy field. So like that part of your spine, there's like 3 different being tunnels that happen to connect right there. So it's a tunnel, and the beings can use it to come and go. And so that one location in your body that has these consistent issues, there are 3 different being tunnels. So that means a lot of beings can come and go and end up right there. And so that's why like it hasn't resolved yet, because there are actually some being tunnels. So you just use your intuition and be like, okay, fine. Are there any being tunnels in that area? Oh yeah, there are three. Okay, angels, can you please recycle those three being tunnels and any beings that go with those tunnels? And that way they'll take care of it. And sometimes angels just want you to learn about that stuff. So that's why they don't make it go away when you just think it's one being. They get rid of that one being, but then they're like, well, hopefully he's going to realize those are being tunnels. So angels, I mean, if you were a young soul, they wouldn't maybe need you to learn that stuff, but okay, well, maybe we don't have more questions. Maybe that's it. We'll see. So if you have another question, now's the time. Otherwise, we could just wrap up. We'll see. We'll see. In situations of high stress and panic, what do you suggest? Can waste hours in anxiety and cannot snap out of it. Find it hard to concentrate on aura. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. In the situations of high stress and, okay, like say you get aura damage on Tuesday, okay, and then it gets worse on Wednesday, it gets worse on Thursday, and by Friday, that's your situation of high stress and panic. So your aura's been ripped up for that many days in order for it to get deep enough so that your chakras are that open and vulnerable. So it's possible that you could say, angels, please repair my aura. And then your angels would do it because they would kind of feel bad for you because the damage is so deep. But it's possible that they'd be like, hello, you have the video, do it, and then you have to do it yourself. But it's worth a try to ask, I guess, if you are having so much anxiety that you don't feel like you could do the 10-minute video that I have. But if you think you can do the 10-minute video, it is a nice video. It's 10 minutes long. It's better to do it, on Tuesday when you first get the aura damage and not wait until Friday when your life is total garbage by that point. Like try to proactively do it every day. That's why I made it a 10-minute video, so it's easy. You could just do it while you make breakfast every morning, so that way you kind of cover your bases each day. But yeah, so I guess if you're too freaked out, so the idea is proactively fix your space before, because by the time you have that extreme anxiety, you've probably had aura damage for like a week or maybe several days. And so it's gotten to such an extreme point. So the idea would be try to be proactive and just half listen to a video while you're doing other things, that aura repair video. And you can, I'm going to post a whole bunch of videos, not under here, but under the, that other one that I'm going to post today. That just posted the live stream video from today. There'll be the aura repair videos under that. The first video to learn on that one would be Gold Energy Aura Buffer Zones. Gold Energy Aura Buffer Zones is a video that's 18 minutes and teaches you how to repair your aura. But yeah, if you're too freaked out, try to think about your body. You can ask your angels, please repair my aura, please. And then just try to come down to earth, because you're probably, part of your spirit is far away, and that's very disempowering when you're like scattered all over. So, try to, hug yourself, wiggle your toes, feel your toes wiggle, come back down to earth, and then repair things. You can just imagine 100 gold suns all around you repairing your aura if you don't have if you won't do the 10-minute video. I have a question about asking for help. Why can't we just make a blanket statement once saying heal my aura completely and protect me 24/7 until I die? Oh, I love you. I love you. I mean, I feel you. I mean, it's a great question. I mean, the thing is, if your angels did everything for you, then there would be no growth. There would be no learning. There would be no involvement. That's like saying Mom, I don't want to do my math homework. Well, then you never learn addition and subtraction. You need to learn addition and subtraction and multiplication, because otherwise someday, you're not going to understand the interest rate on your house, or you know what I mean? Like, there's some things you need to learn, and to be able to let go of your own pain and to repair ways in which you're wounded. It's just one of those spiritual things. It's like spelling and math, and basic penmanship, on a spirit level. Our culture does, our modern society tends to not teach it, but it is like pretty much, it is like basic spelling for a spirit. And so the angels, they're like, because then they'd have to protect you through every single life. And the lives are all about learning. And so it'd be sort of going against the whole point of any life. The point of a life is not to have a perfect life. The point of the life is to learn and get stronger through learning. So, but I know where you're coming from. I know that you don't want to do it. But yeah. Try to think about, like, maybe start with affirmations. I am a strong and mighty spirit. I have the ability to heal myself. Like, maybe just start with affirmations like that. I am a strong eternal spirit. I can let go of my pain. I am not my pain. I am my wisdom. I have wisdom. Something like that you can just, I need to let go of my pain. I need to focus on my inner wisdom. Like things like that, get your spirit sort of realigned. Thanks, Janet. I feel awesome. Yes, doing the clearing and grounding daily, but is other people attacking? So yeah, you could have other people attacking. I had 2 people attacking me this morning, but I just kind of talked to them and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And they're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, because I've worked with all the people, the standard people that attack me, and they know about their angels and they know to work with their angels. So they flip out sometimes and start attacking me again. And so then I just kind of remind them. But if you've never done that basic work with all the people that usually attack your energy, then it's worth doing. I would totally recommend it. There's a video called Resolve Conflict and Boundary Issues. And the video walks you through working with, on a spirit level, in a very non-manipulative way, very good karma way, to help those people that usually attack you on an energy level to relax about you, to get more centered, to the point where they leave you alone. Maybe for a couple days, maybe permanently, but you may have to redo the process for a couple times within a week or two, until they're like, oh yeah. And then maybe you just say hi to them again and say, oh, remember your angels? And then they'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. Yeah. So there is a little bit of groundwork to do with people like that are attacking you. But it's a fun video, I think. Well, it's called Resolve Conflict and Boundary Issues. So you just search Janet Wright, Resolve Conflict, and then look for that title. But yeah, so if you don't chill people out, if you don't help people in a non-manipulative way to relax, then they may keep attacking you, and that's kind of nuts, because then you have to repair your aura every couple hours. So it's sort of a twofold thing. You repair your aura regularly, because life is life and people get triggered and they don't meditate, and you do. And so, whatever, you have to fix your aura. But then you can help those people chill out, and then it's a lot less work for you, basically. I have therapy clients who are open to mindful breathing and stretching. I have a client who is not at all open to any type of mindfulness exercise that is basic, struggling to find solutions for her. Well, you could try walking that person through like a blanket exercise in the session itself. Even if they don't do it on their own, that could help them to kind of get rid of some stuff and just even acquaint them with that concept that you can, there's a video for other people that don't know blanket exercise. Just search Janet Wright blanket exercise. But that could be interesting for them, because they might feel a difference, but you maybe make the blanket far away. So they just dump it far away and then they melt it. But the mindfulness stuff, sometimes when people are more resistant to mindfulness, you can do it like with baby animals or something like that. So you can ask them, because basically, or body awareness, maybe they could wiggle their toes and feel how that feels. Maybe, or they could, give themselves a little hand massage, like in that part right here in your hand, or they could imagine puppies all around them or kittens all around them, because that'll like bring their awareness in, and so they can imagine that or think of one thing they're grateful for. But yeah, if they're not maybe stretching, but if they're so resistant to any of that stuff that they would do on their own, then you just have to make progress in the sessions with them until they're at that point where they're not so resistant. But, that's possible, that sometimes people are just too resistant to do any clearing without you sitting there walking them through it, or, or maybe just, the discussion, the talk therapy aspect, they're going to let go of some there. Sometimes you just have to kind of meet them where they're at. Like if that person feels very overwhelmed, you could maybe, in the session, like walk them through like, well, what if you had big gold walls that were like 10 feet away from you, but all around you, so that you're just in your little gold area, and then maybe make gold flowers, and maybe make flowers of your favorite colors. And so you're just in your little world, and maybe that feels good for them. I mean, just kind of, but if they're so opposed to imagination in any form, even puppies, sometimes baby animals, though, that does get around the resistance, because it's not woo woo to imagine puppies, but, you just meet people where they're at. If they're so resistant, you just do what you can. Facing a recurring pattern at work. In the past, I dealt with the problem with avoidance, quit job, or moved departments. Yeah. Is it here again? It is here again. I'm planning to face it, break the circle, but unsure if it's a sign to leave a toxic place or deal with the pattern. It could be both. It could be that, one thing I like to do is I like to imagine check boxes. And so, like a little box with a check mark, right? And so in a certain experience, sometimes there's more that you need to learn somewhere. So you imagine like your current job, and are all the check boxes checked? Because if all the check boxes are checked, then maybe, it's time to go, right? You've learned all you can learn there. But if, like, say, in this case, there are still some check boxes that are empty, what that could mean is that, you even just with your own inner energy clearing, like that video, clear repeating patterns. So you search Janet Wright clear repeating patterns, you'll find the video. And it has like these little arrows, like in a circle, these arrows. And, but anyway, so it could be that you just need to clear what triggers in that situation internally within you. And then you can go ahead and start applying for jobs and leave, so that you leave from a place of flow and presence rather than leaving from a place of being really blocked. And, because it's like generally things repeat because there's stuff within you that makes it repeat, right? And so that's where the repeating pattern comes from. It comes from baggage within you that's still there. And so you work on clearing that inner baggage, either with blanket exercise, or stacking and clearing, or that video, clear repeating patterns is nice. And, but that could be all that you need to do, maybe. You could just kind of keep an eye on it, and be like, okay, well, I've done 3 days of that kind of clearing. Oh, all my boxes are checked. I guess I can apply for a new job now, or whatever. Or maybe, maybe once you do all that inner clearing, there's a whole bunch of new check boxes for that job. Maybe there's actually more opportunity for you there that now you can manifest because you cleared your inner patterns. And so that can affect how people treat you and the opportunities there that exist for you. So the checkbox idea is kind of nice to do as in addition to the inner clearing. Will you be continuing the Metatron recordings? No, I don't think so. The Metatron recordings, for those of you that don't know, I did them for maybe a year and a half, probably, I'm thinking. They were like half-hour long-ish. They varied in length, and they were just generally, of course, Metatron, and then one or more archangels just giving me messages. And essentially, for the amount of time and effort that I put into doing it, it was not. There were some people that really benefited from those, but the number of people that benefited was not especially large. And it took a lot of energy and time to do it. I mean, you wouldn't think so because it's like a 30-minute recording. So it's like, Janet, it took a half hour out of your day. But no, it doesn't, because it takes me a lot of maybe the better part of 2 days to get to the energy place to do that half hour that is as accurate as I can do. And then, a day of processing and whatever. So that's time I could be spent prepping for, a big healing like this or doing individual sessions. So it just, it didn't I think it was good for me for skill building, but then I kind of learned a lot through it. And I can now learn with the archangels through the Healing Masterclass because Ariel and Jophiel work with me a lot with those master classes. So that's a way for me to transmit archangel teachings, in the healing master classes. So, and that is more, commercially viable. I can make a living and do a healing master class. Whereas it was too hard to make a living doing that, those Metatron recordings. They were not, they really didn't make hardly any money at all. And they took a lot of time and energy. So there's that. Gotta live. Thank you for your advice a few minutes ago. I will watch the video you suggested. Can you see any damage in my aura or something stuck to me? Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of aura damage in the back. I would say extensive. Yeah, it's like even your first layer in the back. It's like the rips go very deep. I mean, I do think actually that your chakras, your angels have been protecting your chakras, because with the level of aura damage you have in the back, you should have a lot of chakra damage too, but you don't. So I think your angels have been protecting your chakras, because your aura has not been, because it's the rips are so deep. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, tons of aura damage, but you can heal it. I mean, it's an 18-minute video, and probably when you do the 18-minute video, Gold Energy Aura Buffer Zones is the name of the video. Then maybe it'll be all healed, or maybe it'll be half healed, and then just do it again like that day or the next day. Just keep working on it until, because then your aura will get bigger and more whole, and then you can graduate to there's a 10-minute video, and it has aura repair and unblock grounding in the title. And so then you'd kind of move on to that video, and just that would be your aura repair video to keep using. But yeah, you have a lot of really stuck, hard energy, just because when your aura is so ripped, then there's no flow, because it's just like it's all ripped. And so there's just so much compressed energy all around you from that. So aura repair would be step 1. And then aura repair and grounding unblocking would be step 2. And you'll probably feel significantly better just with those 2 steps over a few days. So yeah, it's nothing like brain surgery kind of. It's just, basics, chakra, aura stuff. I mean, aura grounding stuff. Someone says, I'll do it today. Ha. Okay, cool. All right. So maybe this is a good place to stop. You guys are awesome, and I'm glad that you would aura damage cause abundance to help leaking out, keep leaking out? Yeah, yeah. I mean, aura damage is completely debilitating. I mean, because okay, your aura works together with your chakra, right? So your seventh chakra, for example, generates your outermost layer of your aura, right? And that's for confidence. That's for empowerment, like being in charge of your life, you know, setting the tone of your life, for goals, for identity, for just first impression, people's first impression of you. So that seventh chakra generates your seventh layer of your aura. So that means your seventh layer of your aura, the outermost layer of your aura, is also responsible for all of that as well. Your confidence, people's first impression of you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So if this is all ripped up and torn up, which it is, I mean, it's so screwed. And all your aura layers have been ripped and torn up. So, I mean, to be honest, like, I guess it's probably a testament to your inner strength that you're doing even as well as you are doing with that much aura damage. Because it's completely debilitating to have that much aura damage. So, I mean, you can think of it that way. That's the you know, the positive glass half full way of looking at it, that you must be a pretty strong person to be capable of anything with that much aura damage. So, and it's easy to fix. So that's the other glass half full thing. But you got to be consistent with it, you know, not just once a year kind of thing. You know? All right. So everybody says thanks, thanks, thanks. Okay. All right. Love you guys. Bye. Have a good day. Have a good night. Whatever it is for you. If you have more questions, you can always just post below the video. Oh, and please give this a thumbs up as well. Okay. Bye.